So, one of the questions that someone sent me was, how old were you when you started to write Suggsverse? And why did you write it? Well, my first story was called Prophecy. I wrote it when I was in 8th grade. I was about 13. This eventually inspired me to make a book called The Limits of Power. If you want to see a bad book, Limits of Power was it. It was the first time I wrote about gods and entities that had unlimited power in multiple universes. The main character in both books was a character called Smoke, who I consider my avatar in the Heir to the Stars series. Limits of Power was written in between the 9th and 10th grade. I think I was like 14 to 15. That was what, 2003 to 2004? Definitely, it's a book I actually have in my storage. I started writing after being inspired legitimately by Yu Yu Hakusho. I wanted to write a tournament-based fighting series, and obviously it's not written like Yu Yu Hakusho. It's not on the same level of Yu Yu Hakusho. I won't even say that. But I wanted to write in a similar fashion to how Kay Applegate had wrote Animorphs. But I also became interested in the scope of power that the characters possessed and some interesting paradoxes that I wanted to explore. Heir to the Stars, which officially is what kicked off what everyone calls Suggsverse, that was created in 2008 with the goal of recreating my story of Limits of Power, but absolutely redefining it. I have multiple manuscripts of the original Heir to the Stars, and some are good, some I just wanted to throw away. I was just trying out different things. But I wanted to finally publish this stuff outside of a school newspaper. Just having everything in the school newspaper was not okay with me. I wanted to actually get it in book format. I wanted to get it out there. And around this time, I was like really into get backers, and that flipped a switch for me. And I was diving into metaphysics at this time. However, I couldn't get the story the way I wanted it, and while this is kind of strange, it wasn't until I read the story The Prince of Tennis that I knew how I wanted to write everything out. Then it wasn't until after I read Daniel X and had a conversation with my mom that I decided to publish my first book, Heir to the Stars. So that's how I got my first story out. That's why I decided to publish. And I know I brought this up in the other video, but it definitely wasn't because of a debate. This was a long time coming.